faffing about, we now have a working Range Rover. This is going to happen. It's wash day for our Range Rover, and for that I'm going to need some equipment. Now you may remember that last week I accepted the challenge of trying to get my mate John's Range Rover through an MOT. Right, back to the Range Rover. John's 1982 Range Rover with a 3.5 litre petrol V8 in it. But I really want to know whether our Range Rover is going to go, whether this problem at least has been solved. You know what, the Range Rover's been a bit fighty, so I thought I'd give myself a change of scenery. And I'm trying to get my mate John's Range Rover through an MOT, and for that I need to get it started. And that might actually help when it comes to trying to thread everything back through those 2 pinch points on the chassis of our Range Rover. The bonnet is insecure. We'll obviously have to break in to our Range Rover just to get the thing started. And John certainly has a lot of love for this Range Rover. He has a lot of very special memories wrapped up in it. So theoretically, well, I now connect this back up to the Range Rover and try using the indicators, we should have some flashing lights in all the right places. And that gives me the perfect opportunity to get a tiny bit more progress done on John's garden find Range Rover. Well, here is the fuel tank from our Range Rover, and clearly it hasn't changed much since I hoiked it out. So the problem I've got with our Range Rover is that a brand new tank, it's one of the parts that is actually available still for this vehicle, is only £140. Right, back to the Range Rover. So it's probably going to outlive the Range Rover itself. And now my tea's gone cold, but I've still got to crack on with the Range Rover. Right, well, I'll clean this up and get it into our Range Rover. Well, John's garden fine Range Rover is certainly taking far longer to get to the MOT station than I first imagined. And so it's now basically the last thing to fit onto our Range Rover. Getting a weird sense of deja vu, putting in fresh new fuel into our Range Rover's fuel tank, but hopefully second time lucky. Gotta say, I'm getting quite excited now. We've got our refurbished fuel tank back where it belongs. So my first thing is to actually try out the beading tool to see how good the bead is, and then use that to try and push through all the pinch points on the Range Rover chassis to make sure it's actually going to be easy to thread through. Right, well, this is a very big day. Last time we managed to get John's rotten old Range Rover to actually start, which was quite a moment. John's memory of his Range Rover is rather rose-tinted to say the least, and apparently it drove into the garden. John, it's amazing, your Range Rover has passed the MOT with flying colours. It was the easiest test they've ever done, and as a prize they're going to send you on an off-road adventure. Right, well, now those of you that are keen-eyed will have noticed this is not an MOT station, and in fact the Range Rover is still very much stuck in the workshop. Well, it came to the point where I actually got to drive away, popped it into drive, and it kind of lurched into gear, which is not really a good sign. Right, so on a Range Rover, particularly this model, there's obviously this device here, the airflow meter, which obviously measures the amount of airflow going through the air filter into the engine. Now, just because it's going to be easier and because they're already here, I'm going to use the original ends off our Range Rover, but obviously this one is rather mashed. Well, it seems that finally getting around to washing our Range Rover and then having to deal with that really disgusting transmission fluid has got you guys really chatting. Unfortunately not. Actually, like with many parts on our Range Rover, it's that old that most stuff is obsolete. So as usual, I did have to go and dispatch Mrs. C on a mission to try and find exactly the right bolt length. Now, talking of which, let's get back to the Range Rover. Now, the brakes on our Range Rover at the front are slightly different to the rear. It's obviously still got discs and calipers. I can't believe that it's taken quite so long as it has to get that Range Rover barely drivable and then get it all the way to the MOT station. Now, in the case of our Range Rover, it's actually a big fuzzy stick in front of the radiator that does the cooling for the transmission. Now, my next job isn't actually on the Range Rover, it's on the trailer behind. Right, well, now this little gizmo here is actually going to help me test the electrical socket on the back of my Range Rover. You can see actually I've got quite a lot of stuff going on here. Right, so now what I can do is I can actually use the Range Rover as a way of operating the lights on the trailer. Welcome the Range Rover back to the workshop. Now, as we all suspected, our Range Rover didn't exactly sail through the test with John himself, the owner of the Range Rover. Now, having gone through the gargantuan job of actually getting our Range Rover to start and drive for long enough just to get it to the MOT station, unfortunately, once it was there, it was still in such a bad condition, the MOT test centre actually refused to test it. And what might be quite nice, depending on what John decides to do with the Range Rover, it might be quite good to replace these with some braided brake pipes, make it a bit more sporty. As we know, the underside of this Range Rover is in a pretty sorry state. There probably isn't any part of this vehicle where the metal is still really properly intact. This Range Rover is officially a total and utter basket case, and nobody in their right mind would waste the time or the money that it would take to actually get this thing back on the road, let alone restore it. After all, it is now crunch time for our Range Rover. My reply to what you should do with the Range Rover is scrap it. You know what, mate? This Range Rover isn't going to fix itself, is it?
Thanks for stopping by the workshop. If you enjoyed the video even just a little bit, then click like. If you hated it, well then click like 3 times. Also remember to leave your thoughts and your questions in the comments. And obviously we'd love to see you again soon, so please remember to click subscribe if you haven't already, and click the bell for notifications of when the next video is published or when I have some intriguing news.